Welcome to Democracy News. President Trump boasted about his economic record and doubled down on his harsh immigration policies during his State of the Union address before Congress Tuesday night. At 1 hour and 48 minutes, it was the longest State of the Union address in recent history. President Trump largely ignored the economic challenges facing many Americans and instead highlighted stock market gains and lower gas prices. Before the speech began, Democratic Congress member Al Green of Texas held up a sign reading, "Black people aren't apes," referencing a racist video President Trump had posted depicting former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. Green was removed from the chamber. During the address, President Trump repeatedly referred to immigrants as illegal aliens and urged lawmakers to stand if they supported his immigration crackdown. Democratic lawmakers refused. After applause from Republicans, Minnesota Congressmember Ilhan Omar shouted at President Trump, accusing him of causing the deaths of U.S. citizens through his immigration policies. President Trump responded by saying lawmakers should be ashamed for not supporting what he described as efforts to remove criminal aliens and end so-called sanctuary cities. Following the speech, Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger, a former CIA officer, delivered the Democratic response. She criticized President Trump over the rising cost of living and his immigration policies, accusing the administration of separating families and sending children to distant detention centers. Roughly half of Democratic lawmakers skipped the State of the Union, along with a majority of Supreme Court justices. Several Democrats instead attended a People's State of the Union gathering at the National Mall, including Senators Chris Murphy, Chris Van Hollen, and Ruben Gallego. Senator Murphy said the country is in crisis, accusing the administration of undermining democracy and prioritizing wealthy allies over ordinary Americans. We will have more coverage of President Trump's State of the Union throughout the program, including responses from Democratic Congress members Summer Lee and Raul Grijalva of Arizona. In other news, several Republican lawmakers are calling on GOP Congressmember Tony Gonzalez to resign amid allegations that he had an affair with a staffer who later died by suicide. Gonzalez is accused of sending sexually explicit messages to the staffer, Regina Anns Santos Alas. He has denied wrongdoing and has refused to step down. Republican Congress members Thomas Massie of Kentucky, Lauren Boebert of Colorado, Anna Paulina Luna of Florida, Nancy Mace of South Carolina, and others have publicly called for his resignation. The Pentagon has reportedly issued an ultimatum to the artificial intelligence company Anthropic, demanding full access to its models by Friday. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is said to have warned Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei that the Pentagon could cancel its $200 million contract and designate the company a supply chain risk if it does not comply. Anthropic has stated it is willing to adapt its policies for Pentagon use, but will not allow its AI systems to be used for mass surveillance or the development of autonomous weapons. Mexico's government is considering legal action against Elon Musk after he falsely linked Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum to drug cartels. Sheinbaum said her legal team is reviewing possible responses. The comments came amid renewed violence in Mexico following the killing of a major drug cartel leader known as El Mentado. Reuters reports Iran is close to reaching a deal with China to purchase anti-ship cruise missiles as the United States deploys warships near Iran's coast in what analysts describe as the largest regional military buildup since the 2003 invasion of Iraq. U.S. and Iranian negotiators are expected to hold indirect talks in Geneva. Meanwhile, protests continued across Iran for a fourth consecutive day, marking the most significant unrest since last month's government crackdown on anti-government demonstrations. A whistleblower has alleged that FBI agents were delayed in responding to major crime scenes because FBI Director Kash Patel frequently uses private aircraft. Democratic Senator Dick Durbin criticized Patel, accusing him of misusing government aircraft at taxpayer expense. The Trump administration is suing the University of California, alleging UCLA failed to properly address complaints of anti-Semitism during pro-Palestinian campus protests. The federal government has also previously canceled hundreds of millions of dollars in research grants to UCLA. The administration is reportedly considering an executive order that would require U.S. banks to collect citizenship information from customers as part of a broader immigration enforcement effort. Currently, banks are not required to verify citizenship status when opening accounts. In Sudan, more than 24 people were killed when the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces raided a town in North Darfur. The attack reportedly destroyed the town's only health center. Fighting between the RSF and the Sudanese army has intensified across key regions of the country. The BBC has apologized after failing to censor a racial slur shouted from the audience during the BAFTA Awards in London. The broadcaster also faced criticism for editing out political remarks from acceptance speeches, including references to Free Palestine and criticism of President Trump. In South Carolina, a measles outbreak has approached 1,000 reported cases, the largest in the United States since 1992. The state has enlisted outside public health experts as Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has significantly altered federal vaccine recommendations. 15 Democratic-led states are suing the Trump administration in an effort to reverse a CDC policy reducing recommended childhood vaccines. And in Brazil, at least 30 people have died after massive landslides triggered by torrential rains swept through the southeastern state of Minas Gerais. Rescue crews are still searching for dozens of people reported missing. Those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy News, the War and Peace Report. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a video.